What's up, Gunplum Modelers? This is Strider Prime, bringing you a new edition of Gundam Models. And today, I'm going to review Great Scale Modeling 2023. This is how Fine Scale Modeler Special Edition that came out about a month ago. I picked it up because it had, obviously, when I see anything in reference to Gundam, I gotta look at it. And when I breeze through it, I go, okay, I gotta get this magazine. And I need to enjoy the work that I see here on Model Builders. Now, obviously, we just went through Mosquito Con, and besides seeing a lot of people building Gundam kits, there were a lot of great model builds there. Ships, planes, cars, tanks, anything you could see is there. A lot of great ideas, a lot of customizations, a lot of things that make you go, be inspired. And that was the one thing that I saw this magazine has, be inspired. I like that. I like things that when you see something and you go, I would not mind trying that idea. That'll be a great idea. Let's peruse this magazine and enjoy the works that many model builders has put into, and this magazine has decided to share it with everybody to see. It should be available at any bookstores or magazine shops or anything like that. So, but we're going to review it at this moment. How to photograph your models. We all know how to do that. Or some of us do, some of us don't. It's all about the lighting. This is for the IPMS USA National Convention. First we have, let me just move the camera a bit. There we go. So we got a nice little Helldiver here. Is it a Helldiver? Yes, it is a Helldiver, 1/48 scale by Pro Modeler. Some great detail there, especially showing it as its wings folded for carrier operations. That's a nice little head horse right there. Stegosaurus. Is that from, I wonder if that's, no, he used what? Oh yeah, it's from Tamiya. That is a Tamiya. Oh no, he's referring to Tamiya and Vallejo parents. But it's 1/16 scale. Is it from Tamiya as the brand, I mean? I don't know. We have a tank here. Tamiya's 1/35 scale Type 97 Chiha. A massive 1/350 scale Yamato. That's pretty nice. Look at all the guns there. Great details, especially with the flight deck of the float planes. I always did like float planes on World War II ships, especially when it's done right. We have a F-16 Aggressor, 1/48 scale, mini 1/35 scale German submarine. Type, I always keep reading it, say XXV, so 27B, if I'm not mistaken, than my Roman numerals. North American F-86F, Super Saber, or Saber, not Super Saber, sorry. Alright, here we go. This is a nice little, let's see here, I'll give this guy, David Goldfinch from Clyde, North Victoria, Australia. Oh, from Australia, oh nice. He built a 1/44 scale Zaku 2. Obviously this doesn't feel like it's from Origins, because it doesn't have the detail of the Origins. Actually, no, correction. That's probably from Origins, yes. And yeah, it is Origins, because there's the two chest miniguns there, so it is an Origins kit. And of course the sniper rifle, or the long-range rifle. This is good. With some leathering there. A little aquatic scene there with the octopus. Airfix P-51D, Cavalier. Oh, Cavalier? No. No, P-5160. Alright, alright. Lockheed Constellation. Those are beautiful, beautiful planes. Oh, wow. This is nice. 1/72 scale Gunstar by a company named Black Sun Models. Wow. A diorama here. Enemies at the gate. Gloucester Gladiator Mark 1, 1/32 scale. ICM. ICM makes some good kits, though. I've heard some weird things. It's not the best type of company. But I've heard nothing bad. I mean, some people figured it out, you know, how to make them. So you got to give these guys credit. They've been out there for a long time. Kurishima Battleship, 1/700 scale by Fujimi. Gemini 12 kit. Doesn't say the scale. Oh yeah, 1/48 scale. Fifth Element, that's kind of neat. I like that. T40 by Hobby Boss, 1/35 scale. Construction vehicle. What is this? A Volvo semi tractor by Ertl, 1/25 scale. 1/35 scale. Pavesi P4130A. Like an Italian utilitarian tractor type vehicle. Can't go wrong with a tree dodger, 1/12 scale speeder bike with the Scout Tripper. This is not from Bayer 8 AMT or Rebel. I'm sorry, this is from Bandai. Tamiya 1/35 scale Sherman EZ8. And then we have, so this model kit is from Testers. I don't think there's any other company that made this version. It's a fake plane, but they did this guy did a great job of giving it a good paint job. It's 1/48 scale. I remember seeing this when I used to work for Toys R Us, all the way back in the late 80s, early 90s. 1/35 scale Chinook by Trumpeter. That's an expensive model kit right there. Especially this one. Trumpeter is 1/360 scale USS New York. That's a nice one right there. And then we have Hobby Boss's Mark 20. No, Andrew Tuck Hobby Boss's Mark 20 cluster bomb underwing on his Hasagawa 1/48 scale AV 8B Harrier 2. That's a wordful. And then we have a 1/35 scale Bromrang infantry fighting vehicle by I can never pronounce that name. ZBEZDA. 1/72 scale Cessna, but it says here it's a resin kit. Wow, that's nice. Resins is something I can never get into. I don't know why. Tamiya's 1/32 scale F-15C Eagle with the Israeli markings. Wingnut 1/32 scale Bristol R2B Fighter. We have another diorama. The Dragon Wagon is always like a showstopper in any shows you go to, because it always has something pulling something, you know, whether it's this weird vehicle or a tank or something else. 100 scale USS Sharanga, I think it's pronounced by but it doesn't say the brand name. He built the loose cannon kit out of the box and painted with that's interesting. This one is a scratch build. He used the monogram 1/48 scale AV-8B Harrier and turned it into a weird shark-like vehicle. Grumman's Columbia aircraft Duck, 1/72 scale. Again, I've always been a fan favorite of. It's always been a fan favorite of me looking at float planes. Float planes has always been my favorite. 1/32 scale M1A1 Abrams, sorry, Sherman. Really nice detail there. This is beautiful. The water line and how the water is breaking on this 1/350 scale submarine USS James Monroe. Micromirror is the brand. Never heard of that one. Phantom F4EJ Kai, 148 scale. Doesn't say which brand, but looks good. Japanese colors, as well as the FA18E by Revell. This is a Revell brand. We have a 148 scale BF109E3. That's actually, this is sweet. It has to be Swedish markings, because I don't think you're gonna have a flying, medical Messerschmitt out there. This is nice. 132nd scale Autocar Canadian Armored Machine Gun Carrier. Very good detail. Good weathering too. Eduardo's 148 scale Spitfire. Now that I got a Spitfire of my own, I'm going to have to start looking at some and seeing what I can do for my kit. That's a lot of bling. Yeah, it says here, Holy Bling Batman. Gerard built his Italiard 124 scale Sienna from the box, except for a single antenna. Oh, okay. You know, I never see. I see a lot of trucks and cars that other companies make, but I don't see it at shows. I don't know why. I always see like the basics, but nothing like this. Mad City's Modelers 26th Annual Show and IPMS Region 5 Convention. So clearly this magazine is covering all those shows that, they have all these kits there. Like this one, this nice little 148 scale Cauldron G4 by Copper State Models. Hobby Boss's 172nd scale A7 Corsair out of the box build. Good. This 1/350th scale USS John Paul Jones by Revell. I think that's a new one, because I don't remember that type of detail on a Revell kit, but it looks nice. Slee Stacks from the 70s shows Land of the Lost. Who does not remember Land of the Lost? Yes, I am that old. Revell Germany's 172nd T90A. That's a nice diorama. You're going to see a lot of dioramas of, obviously Russian tanks, especially what's going on in this world. Tamiya's 148 scale Kai 61 Hein. That's good. And then we have a Revell's 148 scale Stearman. We have some scratch building details here. Diesel Punk Hover Building. That's actually really nice. Let me zoom in on this. Look at that. That's really nice. And then we have a Academy's 1/200 scale New Bedford Whaler. I'm not a big fan of sailing ships because I've never finished one. I started and never finished it and threw it away. But that was when I was very, very young. I don't know if I am confident enough to work on a sailing ship. I mean, I could build this one, like a 1/25th scale Jeep J10 Honcho by Revell. A MiG-27. This is what brand is this? Doesn't say, but it's an Indian from India. 1/35th scale Trumpeters Jacques Penter E10. The Nautilus 144 scale by Pegasus. I've seen that like all over the place. It's a very nice kit. I know there was many versions of the Nautilus. I guess we're all accustomed to seeing the Disney version. 1/35th scale ISU 152 by Tamiya. Hasegawa's F20? No, sorry. Yeah, no, this is Monogram's F20. This is actually, if I'm not mistaken, this is the model kit that they used for the Top Gun movies when it was used in the movie Top Gun, the aircraft. And I believe Monogram took the F-20 and painted it black so that way it could be, a MiG fighter, which of course it was not. But it's using Hasegawa weaponry, which was added to it. but what scale is it? Doesn't say if it's either 148 or 172nd. 172nd scale diorama of the Natter rocket fighters abandoned in the field in Austria at the end of World War II. Interesting. Hobby Boss's 135th scale V100 Commando. 172nd scale trumpeters HMS Renowned. Good, that's very nice. And we have a 135th scale Simca 5 by Tamiya. Nice little vignette there with a German soldier. HeritageCon 2020. This is nice. Just on the cutaway of the tank so you can actually see it. Obviously this is a World War II German A7V tank with some great interior, and you could pretty much feel how claustrophobic it was during that time with its, with the first generation of tanks where, they didn't know what they were doing, but they said, oh, alright, this will be the way it is. But yeah. We have a 148 scale Kinetics CF188A Hornet. And boy, that's a beautiful paint job. Wow. Can't tell if this is a paint job or decals. Let me read this. He finished the model of the fighter celebrating the Canadian Cinquentennial with testers enamel and custom mixed colors. Because it was a demo aircraft, Bob left it clean, showing off the bright, untarnished markings. Nice. Alright, we got ourselves here a okay, so Nicholas Tejera, Brampton, Ontario, Canada. You Canadian guys. Presenting a new RX-78 Gundam ready for battle. Nicholas finished his 100 scale Bandai kit with a custom clean paint job from Tamiya spray can. You spray cans! Jesus. Now the big question is this it's not a, I don't know if this is actually a 3.0, but it could be the 2.0. No, what am I talking about? This is the, this is not the 2.0. This is the Origins. Because there's the over-the-shoulder cannon, and then there's this. This is the Origins version. Never built the Origins version of the Master Grade. I have the regular high grade version, which is great. But nice, that's actually very nice. Typical. This is a 135th scale vignette of the BF-109 G10 crashed with some sunflowers. Nice. And my receipt of me buying this. Oh, I love this one. The 172nd scale Flyhawks SDB-3 Dauntless on a flight carrier, on a deck on a flight carrier, Battle of Midway. Not that many Dauntlesses out there. I'd like to see an updated version of the Dauntless. So steam vehicle there. Garrett Steamroller built from a Bandai kit more than 40 years old. So that's an old kit. Wow, 1/16 scale. Okay, this is fun. Bandai's 148 scale Star Wars Snowspeeder, but he painted in Canadian Forces Snowbird Air Demonstration Squadron colors. Nice. Very nice. Gotta give you Canadians a lot of credit here. Figure here of a Timur Emery figure, 90mm, and a Copper State 135th scale Lancaster armored car. Good scratch, good detailing, weathering right there. For you Warhammer fans out there, Forge World's 28mm scene of Dark Angels Legion, Primarch Lion Eljon's with Citadel acrylics. We have a IMC Big 132nd scale AH-1G Cobra, and of course I'm going to give Ariel Morel from Oakville, Ontario, Canada. Some credit on her, anime and manga friend Ariel. 13 years old, wow, showed up for Bandai's 144 scale Schwabi Gray's Gundam piloted by McGillis Freed from the Mosul Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans TV series. She painted the details with Tamiya colors and manually blooded with ammo by Mig Jimenez Products. Nice. We have ourselves the Robin's 135th scale Bronco Gushwagen 35H artillery piece, I guess. Some now this is not Bandai. This is something called Kyoto 1/6 scale CP30 and R2D2, and it was but upgraded with details. Oh yes, the main little mini kits, the little SD kits that's made by Ming, and he did a RMS Titanic with Vallejo colors. That's actually pretty nice. I'm sick of Titanic kits, but I'll accept this one because that is a good one. We got ourselves a Phantom Tamiya's 132nd scale Phantom 2. Tamiya Phantom kits at 132nd scale are ridiculously detailed. I've heard many good things about it. I've seen people build the 132nd scale Tomcat and the FA-18, but the Phantom, there's like about 3 versions out there, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. We have a Monograms 124 scale Dragon Wagon. Good diorama build there, almost feels like something out of Mad Max. Dragon's 135th scale Japanese special Type 2 Kai-Mi, amphibious vehicle. A 75mm figure of a medieval knight. Okay, here's something pretty cool. I gotta pull this up here. Jonathan Bottom, again from Ontario, Canada. Modeled the atmospheric launch crawler from the Macross Robotech saga. Just call it Macross. Get rid of Robotech. 172nd scale model incorporates the Valkyrie fighter from Hasegawa and resin parts of the launcher. So the fighter is actually from Hasegawa, but everything else must have been from... I don't remember the booster, if there was actually a model kit version of it, but he must have made resin parts to make the launcher and all that stuff. Johnson scratch built the engines. Oh! Scratch built the engines in the boosters and painted and weathered with Tamiya products. Wow. And of course the USS Calvin 1/1000 scale by Morbius. That's a really nice kit. We got a 172nd scale Hobbycraft DHC3 Otter. Very nice. Float blade, nice, very nice. Ming's 135th scale DR9 Armored Bulldozer. That's a beefy kit right there. A lot of detail, especially the anti-RPG bed frame. This one's a Swedish Sweden's post-World War II Sturv 103B main battle tank. We have a Canadian soldier capturing 5 German prisoners diorama, and a 200mm officer of the Black Watch Royal Highland Regiment figure. Oh, here we go. Nat Botting, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Neo Genesis Evangelion has legendary stature among manga and anime fans, and here Nat shows off his collection of 5 1/400 scale EVAs from Bandai. He made the custom base and used the Iwata Neo airbrush with Tamiya acrylics. This was his first time using an airbrush. Okay, 1/400 scale. 1/400 scale. G91 Fiat 1/100 scale by Tamiya. Small kit though. That's a small one, but it's good detail right there. We have a Meng's 135th scale Renault FT17. But there's some great engine detail right there. Take a look at that. We have a Tamiya's 148 scale P-47 Thunderbolt, no guts, no glory aircraft, nice. And a 1/200 scale Hasegawa's Atlantis space shuttle. When I was at MosquitoCon, and I am kicking my ass for this. Sorry for using foul language. There was a space shuttle 144 scale for $10, and I do not know why I did not take out the money out of my pocket to pick it up, and I regret it not getting it. God, you know what? All right. Aaron Datum, Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. Almost too big to photograph in full-scale models booth. Aaron brought his resin UC-1100 scale NZ666 Kshatriya Gundam, okay, to the contest. He went off script with his colors, preferring to offer his own version of the monstrosities mecha. Painted it mostly with Vallejo acrylics and finished much of it freehand. Amazing. And it is amazing. Wow, that is crazy. IMC's 1/32 scale Glosser Gladiator Mark 1. Very good detail there, especially with the rigging. We have an Airfix 144 scale Vickers VC10 by Guyana Airways. And we have a nice diorama of the Master Kit's 144 scale Berbel BE12 float plane, but it's also considered a water tank. What do you call it? A firefighting aircraft, and obviously simulating the smoke, the water effect, and probably be using a clear stand in there. And is that 3D printed? Wait a minute. I gotta read this here. Realizing the aircraft required in the work, which includes filling and correcting panel lining, cutting open. I'm just trying to find out if this is actually a motor in there turning it, or is this basically his own detailed version of the propellers. Wow. Nimcon. Wow. We have ourselves a 135th scale T80BV. That kind of sucks seeing that. If you did this, fine. I apologize. I don't like to show something like this, so I'm going to actually do this. I apologize to the person who did a lot of good work on that, but I'm calling an audible here. We're moving on. To me is 148 scale F-15C Eagle. Good detail right there. Good paint job. Nice little motorbike. Yamaha YA1. We have fine molds, 1/72 scale, Jango Fett's ship. I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. Slave 1. Yes, this was originally referred to as the Slave 1. I know many people do not want to call it Slave 1 because of things, and I understand. I respect that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it its original name. The Fire Spray. It's the Fire Spray. Just call it the Fire Spray. There you go. And it's good detail too. Let me see here. This is a B-17 of the 384 bomber group that was shot down on November 6th. This is a Revell's 148 scale version. And we have ourselves here William Wallace from Cary, Illinois. Built the Bandai's 100 scale Gundam XX out of the box without paint or primer, relying on the color plastic to do the work. He did darken panel lines with a fine tip black pen. Well, you know what? If you did that job, good for you. Good for you. I never got into that kit. I don't know why. We got a Phantom 2. No, what if a Phantom 2 had a flop? Had been flopped. Oh, never mind. F-101E Voodoo by Hasegawa, 1/72 scale. And of course, Bandai's 112 scale General Grievous. Who doesn't like General Grievous? Alright, so we got ourselves here a vignette of an abandoned tow truck, AMT kit. Nice. Diorama of a AMT's 125th scale 63 Nova but it's all scratch built, nice wooden frame and all that stuff. See, this is nice. I kind of like someone actually taking the effort to putting a lot of detail on a diorama just around the model kit. And I think that's a model kit of a motorcycle, but let me see, does it show here? It doesn't say that. Just only refers to the car. Revell's 1/72nd scale kit, PT-109. That's a classic kit. I know that there's many versions of it out there, but this has to be the newest one because when I built mine, obviously decades ago, it didn't come with the strapped-on artillery piece. So I remember that. I don't remember that, sorry. 125th scale monograms, 1934 Model A. That's a good car right there. 1/8 scale Gamora by Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy. Very nice. And a Tamiya's 148 scale P51D Mustang. Good diorama build right there. Kind of like the black and white checkered decals that's on it, unless he airbrushed it. Dragon's 1/35th scale M103A1 main battle tank. Obviously a tank that you normally see in either movies or Godzilla movies, you could say. 148 scale F4F Wildcat by Tamiya. Some great paneling and detail there, and weathering. Batman's car. Hold on. This is Lux's 1/25th scale Batmobile. He did chrome, like a chrome purplish black tone with some gold trim parts on it. Very nice. 148 scales Creole Queen steamer. What brand is this? Is this like a scratch build or a probably a resin brand? 48 inches long. Wow. 1/350 scale. Sorry, 1/35th scale Yag Tiger. Oh my God. By Tamiya. 3D printed workable tank tracks. Oh wow. Nice. Wonderfest. Alright, here we're going to be seeing some wonderful things right here. Who doesn't like the world's greatest starfighter? Y-Wing. Doesn't say what brand. It could be Bandai, it could be AMT. Lee replaced the nose cannons on his studio. Oh, this is a studio scale Star Wars Y-Wing with brass and detail the upper gun. He painted the 3D printed kit. Oh, 3D printed kit designed by Robert Crowley with Vallejo acrylics over automotive primer. Wow. That's very nice. Let's see here. Rob painted the Alib Labs 1/35th scale Markov anti-gravity racer with Tamiya lacquers and artistic oils. Geometrics 1/4 scale Invisible Man. Very nice. Alex Silva at Little Rock, Arkansas. Alex added parts from other kits to the Bandai's 1/44 scale RMS 116H and painted the Gundam Models. It's not a Gundam. The Gundam Model suit with Tamiya spray can lacquers and Vallejo acrylics. He also painted it in NASCAR colors to show off the model suits modified for paintball games. Okay, that I agree. That's kind of cool. For a moment there, I thought you know what? I was gonna say something else, but yeah, NASCAR paint jobs and stuff like that. That's kind of neat. We should have more paintball model suits in anime. Okay, what we got here? We got obviously the Enterprise, but it doesn't say what scale. It is the refit version. This model was built in 1980, and when I was 20 years old. It sat in the box for almost 40 years before I pulled it out and disassembled it and rebuilt it and repainted. In addition to the new resin bridge, a navigational deflector, and a photo etch metal details, His refit of the refit includes 5 colors of shimmering ink applied over the white paint and mask for the distinctive Aztec surface pattern. Yeah, you can barely see it, but I could see the Aztec pattern set up. Not to mention the fact that I kind of like the base with the little button there, which I don't know what it does. JPG Productions 1/12 scale model of the Power Droid, the Gonk. Candyman figure from the movies, 1/4 scale. McGrady from The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing. A USS Swintrek strapped up to carry the Muppet Show Pigs in Space. Oh God, who remembers Pigs in Space? Swintrek, I didn't realize that was called like that until now. Scott Scratch-built insectoid model, appropriately named the Bug. It is a 3-man surveillance vehicle. He described as an advanced version of a helicopter that operates with anti-gravity technology. Painted with acrylic Tamiya acrylics. Who doesn't like a punk Asuka? 1/6 scale. We also have a 3D printed bust of Sylvia from Loki series, which I've never seen before. The bust of the Iron Giant, which I'm surprised. Why haven't we seen a full model kit version of the Iron Giant? I know there's a toy version, but where is the model kit version? That would be nice to see that. 1/6 scale Viking by very nice detail there. We have the NX-01 Enterprise. This has to be from Mobius. Yeah, no, sorry, Polar Lights, 1/1000 scale with battle damage. Bandai's TIE Fighter, 1/72 scale with some great detail there. Oh, to finish it as a TIE redecorated by Sabine Wren from Star Wars Rebels. So this is Sabine. This is what would happen if Sabine Wren took the TIE Fighter and painted it. And speaking of Star Wars, here's the famous Hammerhead Corvette working with 2 sets of 3D files. Steve reproduced the moment that the Rebel Hammerhead Corvette slams into the side of the Imperial Star Destroyer at the end of Rogue One, a Star Wars story. He cut the Star Destroyer section from a larger file. Steve base coated the vessel with Tamiya primer before painting them with the MR paint acrylics. Oh wow, that is amazing. Brian Growen from Mandeville, Louisiana. Rather than recreating the look of the animated original, Brand built the Bandai's 1/350 scale space battleship Yamato with a photorealistic finish. After lighting the engine's tower and wave motion cannon, he painted the ship with Tamiya acrylics, applying the colors over aluminum and using salt as a mask to chip the upper layers. Pastels and artistic oil washes and streaks weathered it. Wow. That is a beautiful kit. Actually, it doesn't feel like it looks like a 1/350th scale. It feels like I'm looking at the 1/500 scale. But I could, of course, be wrong. Let's see. Augie built the Faye Valentine from Cowboy Bebop as a 3D printed kit. Wow. A lot of 3D printed designs here. Stan Arts 1/12 scale search for Luke Han Solo on the Tauntaun. Doesn't say it's 3D printed, but it could be resin. That's good. Nicely painted Space Wolf Fighter by Hasegawa's 1/72 scale using Tamiya and acrylic paints. So this is a 3D printed of Hal's moving castle from the movie. That's actually really nice. Doesn't state the height, but it says here he hand painted with anime creations with craft acrylics and artistic oil washes. We have a Naya 9 took top honors in the junior category with her rendition of Silver Mist from Disney's Tinkerbell. She hand painted the figure with acrylics over white primer. Ooh, that's beautiful. Brian Powell, St. Petersburg, Florida. This design was used in one episode of Gundam Seed Destiny. Brian said he painted Bandai's 1/100 scale Zaku Warrior live concert version with transparent pink over the white silver and picked out panels with black and added in a custom cranberry. Wow. That is crazy. Look at that. That is nice. Absolutely gorgeous. I'd like to see a bigger picture of this. I'll have to search for that. This is a resin of the 1/350 scale Radiant 7 from the Phantom Menace, the Consular class cruiser. I remember the smaller model kit version of this. I would love to get my hands on a bigger version. You think Bandai would make one right now, considering we're making so many Star Wars kits? 3D printed diorama of the Kaz and Maus, an Imperial German Krot drone walker. He modified a Nitto 1/350th scale kit into a mecha sculpted with figure and scratch built base with and Frozen River. And hand painted everything with craft acrylic. Nice. This is a Starfighter type thing. Let me hear Kenny Harvey. Fascinated by a Starfighter on the cover of Ammo by Meg Jimenez. Star Defenders paint set. Kenny scratch built it using using styrene and epoxy sculpt. He painted with Vallejo ammo and apple barrel and Bactra acrylics and marked it in the marked it as a fighter from the BattleTech universe with decals from Hasegawa and Fighting Piranha graphics. So Meg Ammo had those set of paints and had always an image of a weird fighter or anything like that that had nothing to do with any other proprietary thing. He scratch builded his own version of it, and that's really neat. I do remember seeing something like that. Mobius's 1/25th scale Batman's Tumbler with diorama detail right there, some weathering and scarring there. Very nice. We have a 3D bust of Wolverine. And the 1/1000 scale Deep Space Station K7. This is actually a classic kit. I forgot what brand it is, but I've seen it many times. Nordicon 2022. We have a 1/48 scale Hadley Page Halifax Mark III. Very nice. Followed by a Armored Fighter Vehicle Club AFV Club 1/35th scale Skuskaf 11 3-ton half-track. I can try to say that a lot. Bailey Humphreys Gustafan, Bloomington, Minnesota. After kit bashing a Bandai Super Deformed Gundam Wing Zero with parts from a Bandai's Endless Waltz kit and adding 3D lights, Bailey airbrushed the mobile suit with the Gundam Blackers from Mr. Color. Nice. Very nice. More SD kits at shows. We have a Broncos 1/48 scale MQ-1 Predator drone. Here's the Bandai's 1/48 scale M1A4 Juggernaut from that Series 86, which I never finished seeing in the second season. Model Shipways 1/64 scale HMS Sultana. That's a beautiful sailing ship right there. World War II interdiction aircraft. Italia's 1/72nd scale B-26K. Wow. A lot of guns on that nose. Another PT-109 this time on a diorama by Revell. And who does not remember Moya from Farscape? That was a great show. I miss that show. Polish SU-22M4 by Mastercraft. This is a fitter, 1/48 scale. A little too glossy for my taste, okay? 1/72nd scale, National Guard 6-ton tank. Combining a 1/72nd scale kit from RPM, Edwards molded a U.S. Army Mac AC truck hauling a Wisconsin National Guard 6-ton tank in 1927. He improved the tank with steelworks resin tracks and detailed both vehicles with styrene and wire before applying Tamiya's and Vallejo's acrylic and Humbrol enamels. Okay, got it. Now, what we got here? We got a Steve Schaefer from Hastings, Minnesota. Going big. Steve finished Bandai's perfect grade 160 scale RX-78-2 Gundam with MR paint lacquers over Mr. Finishing Surfaces 1500 black to weather the mostly be applied Gundam Tamiya's pastel and washes. I want to say it looks like the Unleashed. And if anybody can take a look at it, maybe you guys can tell me. It is big. It could be the original one, but I'm not 100% sure. But good work on him. Special Hobbies 148 scale F2G Super Corsair race plane. Ooh, nice. Revell Germany's 1/200 scale Netherlands Coast Guard ETB Waker. Good. And we have a Saab JA37 Vegan with resin from Maestro Models. Resin parts, 148 scale. This is a 135th scale M26 armored tank recovery vehicle. That's nice. And then we have a USS Langley, technically the first aircraft carrier, 135th scale by Trumpeter. This is a Heller's 172nd scale DC-6B transport wing. Okay. Oh yes. This is a big kit. The 172nd scale, perfect grade Millennium Falcon. You can't go wrong with it, technically speaking. I think even non-painting it looked great. Let's see here. So this guy kit bashed a 135th scale hypothetical object 20279. What? From a Tokam's Object 2279 tank. A Hasegawa Machine Krieger kit and bits from his spare box. So he just basically kit bashed the tanky. Second annual Midwest scale. Oh boy, I'm almost done with this kit. This magazine. This is huge. Sorry if this is taking so long. Let's see here. We have a 135th scale M24 Chaffee from the Korean War, and he has some lighting effect in there so you could see the interior of it. 125th scale Porsche Junior 108 tractor body, Tamiya bright red, and wheel tester random tan. He scratch built all the dash details on it. Aurora's 1/8 scale The Forgotten Prisoner. Okay. Marek's Model Sliv 148 scale German Messerschmitt BF-109 C3 with some nice weathering details and markings. I just recently watched Speed Racer movie on HBO Max. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but unfortunately it's a guilty pleasure for me. Polar Lights 125th scale Speed Racer, and I just saw this at MosquitoCon recently. 135th scale AS90 by Trumpeter, right out of the box. Token is a 1/16 scale Penzelwagen 1 Os B. We have a Dragon's 135th scale M3A1 half track. Some great detail. Every time I see the half track, I'm always reminded of the movie Kelly's Heroes. Hasegawa's 172nd scale F111 Aardvark. I know I've seen a bigger version of that. And this is a 148 scale F3 F1 by Accurate Miniatures. Military Miniature Society of Illinois Chicago show. Nice little wingnut kit of the PFLAZD 12. Okay. We have some figures here. I don't know what kind of. Basically a samurai girl. And a Red Sky Diary character. Don't know what that is. X-Wing. World War II. Oh, wow. So, Felix planned to model several X-Wings in What If scheme based on a World War II fighter. Here he has built a Star Wars Tora from the 72nd scale Bandai kit. Alright. Nice. Let's see here. This is a trumpeter kit of a Flak 37 with some German soldiers pushing it up a hill. Let's see here. So we have a Reaper scale 75 and Joe Sonia acrylics and Humber metallic enamel help Tony finishes Pegaso 54mm Brendan sharpshooter. 75mm Savage Beauty figure. Nice. Of course, you have a U.S. Marine taking a break. Let me see here. Brentram calls his model 1776 free. He modified the original 120mm kit, providing it with a new head, hat, handkerchief around the neck, and a base. Okay. And then we have a scratch build of U.S. German soldiers. Sorry, German. Going Battle of Stalingrad type setup. And then here is a Israeli ABL-90 going up a street with a big gun on it. We have Robert captures that all unknown soldiers were once known to be letter to the unknown soldier based on World War I memorial in Paddington Station. He faded the bronze with the skin skin tones. Okay. Let's see. It's 75mm 15th century Italian knight figure. And we have a World War II German armor unit, 1/35th scale kit by Tamiya and Dragon. That's actually a big diorama. That's huge right there. Atlantis is 1/48 scale Hup 2. Doug Scratch built the interior and scribed panel lines in the exterior. Added the figure and the base and airbrushed everything with Tamiya paints. Very incredible. Ally Miniatures 1/10 bust scale of a dwarf and an old fisherman catching a fish. U-503 North Atlantic. Oh wait, the bridge crew of a U-503 in the North Atlantic, 1942, spotted a destroyer in Zetor's Alarm. Sergei completed the Andre miniature kit, made conversions to figures, sculpted water, and added a scale 75 acrylic with the airbrush and the paintbrush. Mark's 90mm Andre figure depicted the German 5th Regiment Stormtrooper in 1917. And then we have a Ukrainian T-64 BM Bulat confronting a Russian BMP-2E. Or is it the other way around? Okay. Roscoe Turner's Indie Interventional. Okay. Let's see here. We have a 1/35th scale vignette of Das Reich Division soldiers in the Eastern Front in 1944. Kevin airbrushed base coats on to modest 80mm Elven Archer. We have a ESCI 172nd scale F-100D fighter from the 49th Tactical Fighter Wing. This is a nice one right here with a diorama. Airflex's 172nd scale Sea King. And a 1/35th scale Valentine Mark I by AFV Club. He actually scratch built the rear stowage. Let's see here. Gallery Models 1/48 scale UH-34D with some great detail parts on the engine. Or I don't know if that's it. No, that's not the engine. That's more like something. Don't know what that is. Okay, Kyle Harris, Hobart, Indiana. While Kyle built the Supernova 1/100 scale Gundam Sandrock custom out of the box, he customized the look with airbrush Mr. Color lacquers. Wow, that's actually really nice. We have a Hasagawa's 1/72 scale Ju-88. Actually, a plane that actually crashed right there, so that's actually really neat. I like that. And then we have a high plane 72nd scale Mirage 3.0 from the Royal Australian Air Force. And this is a 1/350th scale HMS Hood. That's actually a beautiful build right there. One of my favorite model kits, Rebel's 1/48 scale PBY 5A. If it wasn't for the fact that how big it is, I would buy it. I would probably look for a 1/72nd or maybe a 1/44 scale. I know there's a 1/44 scale one that's actually a really good detailed one, but I just want to build it because I like it. 1/35th scale Tokum's Hanomag SS100 with a flak 37 88mm gun, anti-aircraft gun. A Marine Corps vehicle in Iwo Jima. Kurt added a scratch build gun shield and the AFV Club tracks to the Artillerites 1/35th scale LVT A4. Alright, so Tim Brown from Louisville, Kentucky. Tim's MS-07B Goof looks as if it had been through a couple of wars thanks to the weathering he applied. He painted it to Bandai's 1/44 scale kit with Tamiya acrylics over black and white pre-shading and used a hairspray technique to chip the top coats. That's very nice. Look at that. Very nice. 1/48 scale monograms B58. And he used Model Masters and metallizer lacquers to give it that metal finish. 35th Annual Butch O'Hara Open Model Contest. Nice. Kinetics 1/48 scale of the French Navy Super Extendar. That's a big plane right there. MPC 1/25th scale Mac Heavy Duty DM 800 rig. Revell's 1/72nd scale Boxer armored vehicle. That's a good detail kit, but it's small at 1/72nd scale. Let's see here. This is a Special Hobbies 1/48 scale 50 IMR 57. Never heard of that before. That's an Italian aircraft. Never seen it before. Revell's 1/48 scale F101B Voodoo. Good detail right there. So this is Carl Williams Jr., Carl Streams, Illinois. The mech being repaired, and Carl's diorama comes with soda pop miniatures. He painted it, the robot helper, Tamiya tools, and scratch build the oscilloscope with P3 acrylics using a pink base coat topped with transparent yellow to produce an orange armor. The base was coated in plaster. Okay. 90mm Norman Knight. And we have a HMS Prince William circa 1719. I see a lot of kits that is the ship below but nothing on top, and I don't know why. I know the rigging could be crazy. To me, it's 1/32nd scale F-16 CJ out of the box. With beautiful pigmentation right there and weathering. Wow. This is a 1/72nd scale A-Wing by Bandai. Monograms 1/32nd scale Screaming Mimi Sherman with that massive missile launcher set up on the top. And speaking of rigging, here we go. 190. This is Richard's 196 scale USS Constitution, and boy, this guy must have took years to get that rigging done. That is crazy. We have a Dave's 148 scale PB1 Ventura. That's nice. I love that blue. Ooh. The blue with the black weathering over it. That's nice. And then we have a 148 scale Planet Model Newport 4.M. Okay. We have AMT's 125th scale Batmobile by AMT. That's the original Batmobile. And he scratch built the building and the street. To me, is 135th scale Panther with a lot of Zimmerman on it, Zimmerman armor. And I would like to say this is the last page. Yes, it is. Michael Gatza from Madison, Wisconsin, imagining an Imperial droid that has realized the futility of war and giving up on killing. Michael added a custom paint job to the Bandai's 1/12 scale K2SO and placed him on the battle-scarred base. The staging of the vignette and the posing of the figure conveys a ton of emotion even though the subject is a droid. This was one of the several creative models Michael brought to the Mad City Modelers show. And if you did not win, shame on the judges. I love it. Look at that. Wow. That was a long video. I was hoping for like maybe 10-15 minutes, but I forgot how thick this magazine is. Surprisingly, I didn't see this. Stellar Sci-Fi character. You know, this. I must have missed it. I may have to review it again, but I kind of like this this shark mouth. This shark mouth Zagak right there. I'm gonna have to cruise it through it again, but I'm not gonna do it again because we're done. That was a long video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found some inspiration in your builds. I gave credit to those who love building Gundam. So thank you for sharing this in your magazines. I'd like to thank Fine Scale Modelers for introducing this magazine to everybody. For the years they've been publication for who knows how long. And keep on going, I mean, yes, everything's all digital, but sometimes it's good to have it tangible in your hand and look at it and appreciate it. And, of course, something to read on, the coffee table. With that being said, I'd like to thank you guys all for watching this lengthy video. I appreciate it, and what can I say? But stay tuned for more Gundam models yet to come. You guys all have a great day.